Alrighty, well hey there gang, I'm excited to be doing my first ever unboxing with a truck that I've been looking at for a couple of weeks, and I've been in the market for a new truck or a new buggy or a crawler. I kind of wasn't sure what I was wanting to get, and then I found this. Boom! The Axial Yeti. It's the rock racer. It combines the best of both bashing and rock crawling all in one package. It's a 1/10 scale, but it actually is a little bit larger than that when you compare it to other 1/10 scale vehicles. Now, this unboxing isn't going to be like some of the others where I go into all the details about what kind of components and parts are in it. As someone that's fairly new to the RC world, I've been in it for now just over a year. I'm going at this from somebody that's never been in RC and why this would be potentially a good truck for them or for somebody like myself. And the first thing that I'm going to point out is right up here. It's the ready to run, the RTR version of this vehicle. And me, I don't really have a whole lot of extra time to be devoting to RC in the first place, and so I needed to get something that's already been put together for me. I wish I had the time to build them myself, but I'm being honest, I just don't. I have 2 little kids here at the house, a wife, a family, and I have to travel for work. So anything that gets me out actually running RCs faster, the better. And truth is, as parts break, I'll be adding the parts that I would have wanted to add if I were to build it myself. So I'll be getting aluminum parts and some of the other niceties that you can add to these vehicles, because there's already a ton of things that people are making aftermarket to really soup these up and make them really sweet, new bodies and things like that. So this comes with the RTR. You're going to get your receiver, 2.4 gigahertz radio, waterproof electronics, which was another thing that I was really looking for. Out behind our house here we've got, well, I'm building a track for one, so this can jump and it's got enough speed to do that. But I wanted something where I could be going out into the woods, and we've got swamps, and so I wanted something that could handle the mud and the water. And my short course truck just doesn't have ground clearance, and it's just not, once you get it into rougher terrain, it's not a whole lot of fun to drive. But this should tackle it no problem. So you've got the receiver, it's got aluminum shocks that come with it, independent suspensions which give you that kind of crawler. And so for somebody new that's getting into this, this can do a lot. You can do some big air jumps with it, it's fast, but you can also go slow and through some trails and do some of the rock crawling and some of the fun stuff that you see because of the suspension in here. But other than that, I'm not really going to get into too much of the other stuff. I'm going to open it up and we'll see what we get inside here. So we'll cut all of the axial. I don't know if I'm doing the right side here or not. We'll just kind of hope that I'm opening an end that is going to give us some nice stuff to pull out. Alright, so first off, we're going to have the receiver, and this is truly a brand new opening. So again, I've always just used the stock receivers. My other trucks are both ready to run. I've got the Traxxas Gravedigger, the Monster Jam Edition. It's a 1/10 scale. A lot of fun to jump, bash. It's 2-wheel drives, always up, doing wheelies and things like that. So it's hard if you want to get it back in the trails where I want to go. This one is built by Axial. It's their own, and I don't have any other Axial vehicles. But it looks like here is where you're going to have some of your extra steering. I'll bring this up here. Steering and throttle controls, and the how your actual control works for reverse and forward directions, and a little bit of a dropped controller. Runs on 4 AA batteries inside, so this seems pretty solid enough. We'll have to see how it compares to my Spectrum. It feels a little bit, the build quality doesn't feel quite the same as the Spectrums that you get in the ready-to-run Losi. So let's see what comes out next. Is it going to be the whole truck? It sure is. So the manual is going to be inside of all of this casing here. Go ahead and ditch this awesome box It does have really nice packaging. That's one thing that they've done really well here. So you've got your manual, which, let's see what kind of details they give us inside of here. I'm sure they're going to have like the exploded out part views and different tools, charging your battery, how to access everything. So this seems like it's going to have just a quick, it's actually nice, the layout, lots of big images, and so this is actually kind of one of the nicer menus I've seen. All the different parts for reference. So yeah, the exploded out views, it's nice. So we'll just stick this over here. The truck itself, it's big. Look at all this goodie bag here. Extra parts. We've got a few extra heads in here. Looks like they've got like a skull face for some of the heads that you can swap out. They've got these bodies on the inside here of the truck, and so you can swap those out with the included heads in here. Body, everything looks good. Look at that suspension, way better than any of my other vehicles that I have. Wow, that'll be fun off-road. So yeah, just first glance, everything, you know, seems to be well built, and the shocks are just, they're pretty amazing. I like the paint job on the body. These typical bodies don't really seem to last if you're bashing them, and I can see that this, you know, it's probably going to be the same case. It's a bit flimsy feeling as far as the plastic, but that's one of the things, you know, getting into this, that a lot of times what comes with these, especially the ready to runs, is just to get you out and running and using the vehicles. A lot of times you'll have to invest in better parts, specifically bodies, and then again, like I said, I'll probably be looking to get some other aluminum parts here, not only for the look of it. I'd like to get, you know, some anodized green, with all the CCxRC stuff. I'm kind of going with that green, black, white kind of look kind of here. One of the first things I'll point out comes with the Dean's connector, and I knew that based on the packaging, so I already went ahead and bought myself these Traxxas connectors, and I'm going to be cutting this off and replacing it with these Traxxas ones, because that's what all my other trucks are running. And here you've got the Axial Vanguard brushless motor, which should give it some good speed. Everything's really nice. I mean, the ESC and everything on here is looking really good. Servo is down in here. As far as layout, you've got your motor, ESC, electronic speed controller, and then your servos tucked in down here. So yeah, a lot of these parts are plastic. You know, even these shock, I don't know what these would be as far as, not into crawling, so what these extra shock or stabilizers here are on the back, but it's all plastic arms here. And so these will probably be some of the first things that I'll be ending up replacing as this truck gets driven and as things start to break. So that's pretty much a quick overview, quick unboxing of this really, really beautiful looking truck, and we'll get it out and do a couple of test runs for you to end off the video, and maybe just kind of a final review of how it handles. I've got 2S batteries. That's the other thing this handles. 2S LiPo batteries, but also 3S LiPo. So I'll be running a 3S in this 50C battery, which should give it the maximum amount of torque and power that you could drive through this with the components and the electronics that come installed in it. You go any higher, 4S batteries, and you could potentially burn out your motor or your ESC, get the smoke and the smell of fried electronics. So that's it. Let's get it outside. Alright, so first impressions of the Axial Yeti. Amazing truck. I had a blast with this on my first run. I went to a local spot called Ipswich here in Chesapeake, Virginia. It's a BMX park. I guess it's I mean, you can go in, there's trail riding, there's mountain biking. You can pretty much, go in, it's open to the public, and they allow them to go in and build these jumps. And so I took it. The jumps, I mean, it's like 10 times bigger than last time I was there as far as the amount of jumps and areas that they've created into basically a BMX fun park. I took this, I started right away in a little spot with some water and, some little hills and bumps, and had it on its lid, within a minute, and in the water. Pulled it out, ran grades, everything's running good. I bashed this off of some of the big BMX jumps, and nothing is broken on this truck. I lost one of the clips to the back here. I just realized that just now. But what's great about this truck? One, it's really fast. It's a lot faster than I expected. Getting into the crawler rock racer world, I didn't expect the speed that this truck has. Now, granted, I'm running on a 3S 50C battery, which is pretty much the top that you can get for this. But the stock gearing is really fast. Almost so fast that it's hard to control because the wheels are just spinning so fast that you literally, it's almost like hydroplaning on the ground. But once you learn the controls of it, you feather it in to get your speed up. Partly, my problem was that these jumps that I was trying to hit at this BMX park are pretty narrow because, bike wheels, make it a lot easier to control hitting the face and lip of the jumps. So that was one of the issues that I was dealing with, was the narrowness of the track. And I haven't really been there before, so new truck, new track, and awesome. So one of the negatives that I found, and it's a small thing, is the battery compartment here. Now, it's actually, I really like that you can just pop this lid up by taking out 2 pins. There's a pin here for the battery. You slide it in. What I don't really like is that to hold the battery in vertically here, you've got this little spacer that slides up and down. There's 4 Allens, so if you want to change from 3S to 2S, you've got to adjust these Allen bolts and drop it down. So that's kind of a pain, because I run a lot of 2S because of my short course truck, and that's what I mainly have in batteries. So I was hoping to be able to just use what I had as far as batteries and just swap between them. On my short course and my other trucks, there's like a Velcro strap, so you can pretty much put anything in and adjust it. I'll probably be looking at getting an insert to put on top of my 2S here to keep them from moving around and bouncing around. It's also a long compartment, so my 3S even was sliding around. I had a shim in here, but I lost it from the bashing I was doing. And so all of the stickers and everything on it, it's a fairly new battery, all just worn off. The serial number for the Venom battery, which you need if you want to do a warranty on it, is now gone. So that's a bit of a problem, but access, this pin, I like the tray, that part of it's really good. As you can see, everything is just completely covered in mud from today. So straight away I got it out, hit some of the muddy areas. We had a little bit of snow here in Virginia yesterday, melted, became mud. Perfect for my first day, and I really got to test the waterproofness of this truck. Flipped it over into a puddle about a minute in. It wasn't very long. Tried to hit one of the little hills and jump into the water, and it's really front heavy, so it tends to, if the jump isn't faced right, you'll end up in an endo and flipping and all of that. So you got to really be heavy on the gas when taking off, and carrying that into the beginning of the jump to try and keep it level. Even knowing that, it was tricky for me just getting used to this truck to keep it from doing endos and flipping or slamming hard on the front bumper and the front axles. But as hard as I bashed it, nothing's broken. Handles really well. Axial, you've made a beautiful truck here, not only in the body and the shaping and the design, but also in the handling was great. The speed, this thing is quick. I could not, again, believe how quick this was with the stock gearing, just throwing in a 3S 50C LiPo. So I did lose, like I think I said, the one of the pins here. That's really the only damage that I did. The case the body here handled a lot better for how hard I was bashing it. I thought that, you know, it would be cheap and would break. There's no cracks in it, and if you watched the video to get to this point, you saw how hard some of the flips I was doing. You know, some of them I really thought I was going to walk up and have a wheel snapped off, but didn't happen. So if you're new into RCs, I think this is a really solid truck. It can do a lot of things. It not only has a lot of quickness, it's tough, but you can jump it, you can bash it, you can crawl, just about cover any surface with this thing because it'll just handle just about anything you throw at it. You can get it wet, so what I'm going to do because of the waterproof electronics and everything is I'm going to hose this off, use an air compressor to get extra debris off, and then wipe it down, dry it off, oil it back up, and be good to go. So I highly recommend this truck. I've only had one run on it, so what I've found so far has been pretty small, but I ran it really hard on the first run, and you know, it exceeded my expectations. I've been really excited about this truck, but I'm even more excited about it after having driven it. So I would highly recommend this to anybody new as a first kind of car because you know, I got in with the Traxxas Gravedigger. It was fun. I could jump it and do all that. This is a whole lot faster. Four-wheel drive, can handle any terrain. Don't have to deal with all the wheelies of the two-wheel drive monster truck style, and it's really fast. So that's what I have to say about the Axial Yeti. Keep an eye on the channel. Subscribe down below or at one of the links. If you want to see more videos and runs with this, I'll be coming back and probably giving a more detailed review after I've driven it many more times. Again, this is after only one run, so my knowledge of the truck is pretty limited still. So thanks for stopping in here. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be sure to answer them in the comments below.